Welcome, everybody, to the Business Spotlight Series. My name is Steve Kiyama, and I'm the owner of Action Coach Western Fairfax. Today, we're going to speak with Steve Gonzalez. We're going to talk about his business, his journey into business ownership, some of the challenges, best practices he's been trying, and share a peek into what it's really like to build, own, and operate a business. So if this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop new conversations like this. So Steve, welcome, and thank you for being here today. Let's start by giving the listeners a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, my background. My name is Steve Gonzalez. Like you said, I'm originally from Miami, Florida, but I found myself here in Washington, D.C. My mom's from Argentina, my dad's from Cuba, so I'm first generation American here, starting my journey into the business world, like my
Mhm.
parents intended to when they dropped me off here. And I started a company called Shattered Glass Studios, which is an extension of my video production company that focuses on digital marketing and implementing artificial intelligence solutions to help businesses adopt technology, as well as helping businesses understand how to do everything that we do in English in Spanish.
Very good, very good. So while we're on that topic, that kind of teases the question, who do you serve? Who are the typical customers that you serve best?
The customers I find myself working a lot with are small businesses, usually other entrepreneurs like myself. I work with chiropractors, I work with plumbers, I work with electricians, um, mostly, hardworking people who have a hard time learning how to computer. They're so focused on their business
Mhm.
and, uh, you know, working with their clients that sometimes they need help with the other parts of their business, such as marketing, video production, or even just simple, business things that uh, a business coach can help them out with.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What makes your business unique? And why do your clients choose you?
I would say what makes my business unique is definitely the point of view and my variety of being able to work with different industries. I'm very straightforward also when it comes to working with businesses. I take a very in-depth approach to really learn what it is that the business owners are doing, and I try to give them a straightforward, clear-cut approach as to what changes they need to be making, whether sometimes they like to hear it or not. Um, One example would be um, sometimes I bring solutions to customers that bring them business, but they're not able to close those business. So we go and we
Mhm.
explore what's really happening inside their organization that's not allowing my solutions to work sometimes, right? We'll run a marketing campaign, you'll get 10 new customers, and from those 10 new customers, you're only able to close two. At that point, it doesn't really sound like, right? It's my problem bringing you the customers. Maybe you don't have a good sales pitch. You don't know how to close the deals. You're not listening to your customers and their needs, and you're trying to sell them what you want as opposed to what the customer needs. And I'm able to dissect and boil those things down, and give those clients the solutions that they need. I like to consider myself, especially when talking about technology and thing, is I don't know if you ever heard of a wizard, and
I
not
have
just
not.
well, I'm sure you heard in the magical sense, right? A wizard. I'm not. I don't say I'm Harry Potter, but in computer terms, if you go on your computer, a wizard is a helpful feature that automates complex tasks by asking the user a series of easy to answer questions.
Good. Yeah,
So you'll find that on all those computers, and that's the kind of approach I take with my customers, right? I try to set up these systems to automate these tasks, and I do that by asking them in-depth questions about their business.
good. Good, 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 good. I've heard it said the problem your prospect brings you is never the real problem.
Yeah.
It's a symptom. And the question is, how far do we have to dig to find where the real problem is, where we can have a real impact, where we can make some real improvement. Um, I think you brought up a really great example. Um, Somebody comes and asks me, how do I get more leads? I'm not getting enough leads. But sometimes you can dig in and find out their conversion rate is something like 10%. And so it's not the leads, it's the sales skills or the sales tools, or as you said, maybe they're talking to the wrong group of people that don't have the problem that they can solve. But I could dig a little bit deeper and think through, well, why do they think they need more leads and more sales, and discover they've got all the sales that they can handle, they have the capacity to handle, and what they've really got is an inefficient way of delivering, and so they're not really making the profits that they want to make from the sales that they're making, but they look at it as a leads problem instead of a efficiency problem. So yeah, it can be really interesting digging into some of the performance issues with a business. I think you bring up a really good point there. What's one thing you wish more people knew about your business?
One thing I would say, I think, which would be very, very useful, honestly, if you are having problems with your business and you're just starting out, you probably don't need to do marketing, honestly.
Hmm.
The people that really do need to do marketing are the businesses that are really successful.
Hmm.
If your business isn't getting the leads or the close that it is, like you said, it is a symptom of something else that's happening within your
Hmm.
business. Your
Hmm.
first 10 customers should come from warm leads of people who are in your circle, who then give you
Hmm.
then you establish your business, you get a foothold on good income, and then when you have uh, income to spend, then you set some aside for marketing. But you shouldn't come to marketing as a solution to really fix your problems if your business is failing. A lot of
Mm.
businesses come to me that they're like, I need more customers. I need more customers. I want to do marketing. I want to fill in my pipeline. And that's really not the solution at the end of the day. Like you said, it
Awesome.
really is a symptom. So I would say that that's very important is if your business is having a hard time right now attracting leads and finding customers and you're just starting out, there's a lot of other things that we can do besides throwing money at Facebook and Google.
Fantastic, fantastic. What's the number one strategy that's bringing customers in for you at this point?
Doing things like this, being able to communicate and talking into my network, spreading the word and good gospel of what the opportunities are available to people. That's this is technically an income generating event, right? It
Hmm.
doesn't really cost people anything aside from time to have conversations. And I think that's the most important part of the business aspect is networking. You know, they told me when I was in college the same thing when you're going to school, you know, you got to learn, get a degree to get a good job. And then you realize, you know, that guy's cousin works at a Fortune 500 company and he didn't really got no A's at school and he's the vice president of the business that you're going to go work at. So it really is a combination of both, right? You're not only
Hmm.
supposed to be knowledgeable in your area of expertise, but in at least my experience of being in the United States is it really is important to network and build relationships with people.
Good, 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 good. Let's take a step back from the business and kind of dive into your journey a little bit. Why did you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to working for somebody else?
That's a good question. In my background is in computer security and information assurance.
Hmm.
I got a degree from the oldest private military college in the United States over there studying computer securities and ended up getting a job here in Washington, D.C., fixing the cloud for the federal government for the better part of a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself in a position whether if I wanted to grow, I either needed to become a specialist, and when you become a specialist, they pigeonhole you in a corner, and you really don't get to
Yeah.
expand anything outside your specialty, and they don't really even pay you any much more than the next guy. They just give
Right.
you that extra bonus because you got that point. Or I would have to do a lateral change into another field. And I said, Adele, I wanted to go into sales and I wanted to go into marketing. I have that aptitude. I wanted to learn, and I was finding that I wasn't getting the attention or mentorship that I needed from the organization in
Mm-hmm.
order for me to expand and grow in that field. And I decided that I was just going to explore it on my own. I found people who were in the niche and industry that I wanted to be in. And I started networking. I started connecting with artists. I started connecting with other people in my area. And because I was able to build those relationships, I felt comfortable enough that I could leave my full-time job and start something on my own.
Fantastic. Fantastic. What's the transition been like for you so far?
It's definitely had its ups and downs,
Mm.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you're a small business owner or even just starting up your business, you take on a lot of responsibility, not even just for yourself, but others, right?
Mm.
Who start to build these relationships then, and you start to have employees who then depend
Mm-hmm.
on you for their salary, for their health care and
Mm-hmm.
mental health. And you don't just become somebody else's part of a machine. You actually become, I feel sometimes like a father figure or an uncle.
Mm.
I'm advising people on their needs and their wants,
Mm-hmm.
and going along the ride with them too, right? Because they're part of my
Mm-hmm.
organization. When they're sick, that hurts my
Mm.
business, and I have to fill in those gaps. I've been a part of lawsuits from getting into bad contract deals that we've had to break. I've been uh and lost lots of monies gambling on different opportunities that we
Mm-hmm.
thought would work and didn't deliver. So it's definitely been a lot of fun, I would say. You know,
Education's expensive, isn't it?
it definitely is. It's cost a lot, but I've also learned a lot.
Good, 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 good. That's the right attitude. I love it. I love it. Taking from there, kind of pivoting from there, where do you see the business in 3 to 5 years?
So I gave my name of this business Shattered Glass Studios. Not just because it has SG and my name is Steve Gonzalez, right? I started with that and I said I wanted to collaborate and work with different businesses in different industries who shine bright and are colorful in their own respective and build something like a stained glass window in a church or a mausoleum.
Mm-hmm.
It's That's why I do work with different people in different industries. In 3 to 5
Mm-hmm.
years, it's my hope that the med spa that I'm working with is the number
Mm-hmm.
one med spa in the area, that the chiropractor I'm working with is the number one chiropractor in my area,
Good.
and that my businesses that I'm working with are flourishing and they're
Awesome.
within their areas. That's my goal right now.
Awesome. 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 So thinking about that, and you've referenced teams a little bit. How would you describe your leadership style in business, and has it evolved? Has it changed over the years?
Um, yeah, I definitely take it is a combination of a lot of different things. It is some kind of autocratic and democratic here and there for in terms of
Mm-hmm.
leadership styles. I do take into people's account on what it is that their needs and wants are. I
Mm-hmm.
try to listen, but at the same time, I try to remind people like this isn't Burger King. You came to me for this sandwich, and I'm gonna make it to you a certain way, and I promise you it's gonna be a really good sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you want to make 500 changes, that's what the other players are for. You can go somebody
Mm.
else get that sandwich you want from over there. I definitely
Mm-hmm.
lead with that style. I have my own um way of doing things, and that's what it is that really makes me unique. I have not just technical skills, but we do things creatively, right? I work with a video production company, I work with graphic designers, And when we're talking about branding, we're talking about something that's supposed to leave a mark or an impression, something that's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be long lasting. And in
Mm-hmm.
order to do those kinds of things, you need to stand out. And sometimes those things force people, right? A brand is not a soft word. It's right when you say something that leaves a mark or an impression, it's not something that's soothing, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
something that pushes towards change. It's an
Mm-hmm.
act, of course. So sometimes that's where a lot of people might have conflicts with how it is that I do things, right? They just don't
Mm-hmm.
see things my way. And sometimes you gotta fire customers for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Good. Good. Let's talk a little bit deeper into this. What's your approach to hiring and retaining team members?
Mm. Right now, most of my business I outsource.
Ah,
I
okay.
I work with a lot of experts in their respective fields and try to, like I said, put the best people in the game for their specialties. At the beginning of my business, I worked with a white label agency, right, that took care of a lot of the things that I wanted to do, like pay-per-click campaigns, doing SEO, and then I slowly started as the white label agency was doing those things for me, right? They've been doing it for hundreds of other people, things like that. And the back end, I started finding my own team, people who are
Mm,
specialists in those respective fields, and then finding those people and putting them in their respective place so they can shine. I find that a lot of businesses fail with that point too. Sometimes they hire people and there's like they're so bright, they're so awesome. I hired this person. I'm gonna make them do a million different things to help my business run. That's not the way it should be done. You hire people for a specific task and a specific mission, and you start once you start changing that, you find yourself in trouble. One example of that would be the video production. I have people who love editing but hate filming, and I have people who love filming and hate editing. And we
mhm.
found ourselves that sometimes the people who are filming were there for the project, and they really should be the one who's editing or communicating that to the editor. But once you start delegating those jobs, the things get mixed up, and the product isn't always the best.
Yeah.
So we found that, let's put the people in their respective positions so that they can shine the best in those areas.
Let them specialize and get really good at what they're doing.
Exactly. Right. Don't let
Awesome.
the person at the front desk, do, finances if that's not their specialty. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. I love that. That's really, really good. It lets them feel like they're a piece of something bigger than just themselves by getting really, really, really good at that one thing that they're there to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we've certainly covered a lot of ground. There's been some really good nuggets of information here. So for those listening, I highly encourage you to save this and come back a few times because we've picked up some good nuggets. As we get ready to wrap up, I've got a few rapid fire questions. So, top of the head kind of answers. Ready?
Mm, ready.
What's the key to success for you?
Consistency.
I like that. Fantastic. What would be your number one piece of advice for other business owners?
Make friends.
Ooh,
Yeah.
relationships.
Relationships, relationships, relationships.
Yeah, love it, love it. What is one book you've been reading or have read recently that's had a really good impact on your progress?
The last one would be The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim
Mm,
Ferriss.
hmm.
I like that one.
What'd you get out of it that really was impactful?
The automation, that whole step of taking charge of your time, because a lot of people who start up their business,
Good.
you find yourself that you really are working 24 hours a day, right? As opposed to being an employee and you clock in 8 hours. When you become an entrepreneur, it really is a 24-hour monotony. And in order to step away from that, you have to really, really take charge of your time.
Hmm. Good, 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 good. That's kind of a theme that's come up a couple of times today. That's good. If you had to choose only one area of your business you could immediately improve tomorrow, what would it be?
My outreach, I definitely I want to improve my outreach. I want to reach as many
Okay.
people as possible. Yeah.
What's most inspiring to you today?
The fact that the tools and capabilities for anybody to succeed are at our fingertips.
Hmm.
The right now, I'll tell you, literally since 2013, all the money that's come from my bank account has been from sitting behind a laptop in my own home and using my cell phone. I really I've been fortunate enough not to have to get dirt under my fingernails and have to do things unless I was gardening, right? Other people don't have that ability or that luxury,
Mm.
but being here, that possibility is available to anybody who wants to take advantage of it.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
Google is such a powerful tool.
definitely.
Awesome. All right. So, last set of questions here. How can others learn more about you and your company? And with that, how can they best get in contact with you?
Great question. So, I usually tell people if they don't know who Steve is, they can find my latest project on whoissteve.com and reach me there. If they want to know when I'm available, they can go to whenissteveavailable.com and that'll take them to my calendar. And they can click the little button there that says follow up meeting or jump into an AI discovery call or pitch me their business, whatever it is. We have different selections there on my calendar. And I make myself available to anybody who wants it through that platform.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Thank you, Steve. So, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. This has been a really fun conversation, and there's been some really great insights into business. Every small business needs to listen to those kinds of pieces of advice because there's all kinds of opportunities to get more from what you're doing. Fantastic. Thanks very much, Steve.
Thank you.